Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to JDW Sports Network. It's me, Aaron, aka Head of the Table. And aside from NFL, NBA, anything we usually talk about, I'm going to talk about WWE, which we've done before. Me and JDW, we've talked about it before with the previous pay-per-views that like WrestleMania that we've done before. And what I wanted to talk about was this Saturday of WWE Worlds Collide and WWE Money in the Bank that happened Saturday in the evening and Saturday night, and I wanted to talk about it, wanted to review it, wanted to bring it to y'all, in case you've never seen WWE, in case you've never seen AAA Luchador Wrestling, which for me was sort of my first time as well, because I was never able to watch AAA Wrestling because I never knew where it showed. But me being Mexican, I wanted to get a piece of culture of mine and watch it as well on Saturday, and you don't know how great it was for me to watch it from the intro introducing what luchador wrestling was, with Rey Mysterio narrating it, with the national anthem being played, and both national anthems, with the Mexican national anthem and the United States national anthem, sung by Lillian Garcia, which she did a great job. And then Rey Mysterio came out after, just talking, presenting AAA wrestling, which was great to see. And we'll just get into the matches, because I'm not even like, y'all gotta go rewatch it on YouTube. It's free on YouTube, which was crazy. Like, that type of pay-per-view or premium event on YouTube for free, that it was just something different. Like, to me, Worlds Collide was better than Money in the Bank. I'm not gonna lie, Money in the Bank was great, but Worlds Collide was just so much better, so much fun. But first off, we got LWO versus Aerostar, Octagon Jr., and Mr. Iguana, and that match was phenomenal. Conan and Corey Graves were commentating it, and they did a great job too as well. The most loved wrestler on that match was Mr. Iguana, with him and his iguana, the stuffed iguana, and that was just a great match. He was just a fun wrestler to watch, fun luchador to watch, and they pulled off a great match with the high flying, with the antics that they were doing. It was just great to watch, and honestly, if I could rate it, it'd be a 10 out of 10. Like, even Conan was like, I'm standing up to applaud them for what they did. And afterwards, Dominic Mysterio was in the crowd. He was talking mess, and he called out Octagon Jr., and he was talking mess about Rey Mysterio, disrespecting everybody, and then they got into it, and then Dominic was like, I want to face you tonight at Money in the Bank, adding a match in to face Octagon Jr. to defend his title, which was like, it blew everybody away. It's like, wow, they are already fighting, and they're going on to Money in the Bank later tonight, so that was great to watch. And then we have Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Dalis and Chick Tormenta, and that was a great match to watch as well for the women. All the women showed out today as well. They had a great match, especially with everybody loving the Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice doubles kiss together, which with Booker T. Booker T wasn't there, but you could hear everybody in the crowd going because that's Booker T's saying when her devil's kiss is performed. But that was a great match as well. I would have gave it like I'm not gonna lie, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 as well, because like, everybody in every single match gave it their all, and I loved watching it. I never got bored of any match, and that's what's great about it. And then afterwards, we had Legado de Fantasma versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Pagano. They had a great match as well. I give it an 8 out of 10. It was great. I'm not gonna lie, it was still great. But just like, little things where it was just like, where you kind of fell out, like, okay, what's happening? But with the luchadors, they were big guys, and they were high flying. It was great to watch. But Legado de Fantasma, they won in the end. It's great no matter who wins, because it's still giving off representation to the Mexican culture, representation to these guys who performed in Mexico before, performed as luchadores before. So it was great to watch, no matter what match it was. And then we had honestly a 10 out of 10 match here with Rey Fenix, Ethan Page, Laredo Kid, and Javon Evans. Honestly, to me, I thought Javon Evans was going to win, but I think they're going to let Javon Evans win, because Ethan Page is already main roster ready to go to either Raw or SmackDown, either one. But Javon Evans, I thought he would have won, but it was so a great match. They all performed great. I think Javon Evans, he'll win it at another NXT pay-per-view, because I know him and Ethan Page will have a one-on-one instead of a fatal four-way the way they had it right now. But it was a 10 out of 10 match to me, and I loved it how it was. And then honestly, match of the year to main event this show was El Hijo del Vikingo versus Chad Gable, and I'm not even gonna lie, the way they were going at it, the way they had their chemistry. This is the first time they faced each other, and their chemistry together was just amazing. With just the moves they did, like, it was great. Like from Chad Gable, doing his somersault onto a table with the Del Vikingo. It's just how they fought each other, how they were going at each other, and just at the end, like, it was like, with how they were going, it felt like Chad Gable was going to win, and but in the end, El Hijo del Vikingo, he won. But it was honestly a great match, and y'all gotta, honestly, not even this match, y'all just gotta rewatch this entire pay-per-view. It was great from start to finish. As a Mexican, it represented Mexico for just how great it was for representation, how great it was for luchador wrestling to be represented. It wasn't no whitewash, it wasn't no WWE washed. Nobody. They didn't change anything from AAA. They didn't change anything with luchador wrestling in this pay-per-view. They showed up and showed out, and I hope we get to see more from AAA luchador wrestling with how Saturday went. And we already got Mr. Iguana merchandise selling, so that's how great it is that in just one day merchandise is already selling for certain luchadores that the crowd loved, with certain former luchadores in the crowd watching as the new guys are fighting and wrestling, and it was just great to watch. And overall, Worlds Collide, I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10 because Worlds Collide was just great to watch. If you want to rewatch it, you go rewatch it on YouTube. It's for free, which is crazy, and overall, it's just something worth watching for 2 hours, because throughout that entire time I was just not even tired. I wasn't like distracted by anything. I was just purely watching it, and I loved all of it. And as we go to Money in the Bank, which was funny enough across the street from where Worlds Collide was presented. So honestly, whoever was fighting at Worlds Collide, like Stephanie Vaquer, Chad Gable, El Grande Americano, we all know who it is. Even Dominic Mysterio, Octagon Jr., they all did something at Worlds Collide just to go fight later on in the night at Money in the Bank. But the first match, of course, was the women's Money in the Bank, which was Julia, Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Stephanie Vaquer, Alexa Bliss, and Roxanne Perez. And honestly, it was like an 8 or 9 out of 10 for me. Everybody showed out. Roxanne Perez did this one move where she flipped on top of Rhea Ripley while Rhea Ripley was on the ladder, which was like a crazy move. Stephanie Vaquer did the Devil's Kiss on Rhea Ripley on the ladder, which of course got everybody's attention. But in the end, crazy enough, I didn't think she was going to win, but Naomi, she won the Money in the Bank, and it was crazy. I wasn't upset because I didn't mind anybody winning, because this wasn't no predictable match. Honestly, this whole Money in the Bank didn't feel predictable at all. Maybe the men's, but we'll get to that. But seeing Naomi win, she does deserve it. After what she's been through with the whole Sasha Banks situation that happened, her having to go to TNA, her having to bring her name up, and then as she gets to WWE, she kind of fell under the cracks again, not being noticed too much. But now that she's got Money in the Bank, we don't know what's going to happen, who she's going to go after. But it's good that she won it. It was good to see her win it, to see where they go with her story. And after that, we got the Dominic Mysterio and Octagon Jr. fight, and that was a good match overall. Dominic Mysterio won. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, honestly, because it was honestly a fast-paced match, and we all kind of it all kind of felt like we knew who was going to win, because I didn't see Octagon Jr. taking the belt off of him, like presenting storyline wise, because I still believe it'll be Finn Balor that takes the title from him. But that match was great. It was still great to watch. And after that, we got Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. Honestly, I felt like Becky was going to win, because it's like, they fought each other multiple times already, and Lyra kept winning, so it was kind of like, it was just one of these matches where you feel Becky will finally win, which she did, and it wasn't no dirty tactics or nothing. It was just like a quick pinfall, one of those where it's like, ref counts just fast enough for them not to kick out to, in the end, because they had that bet of if Lyra won, Becky can't go after her no more, and if Becky won, Lyra has to raise her hand, which she did, but Becky kept making her do more and more as she raised her hand, and then Lyra just retaliated and fought back, and it's not making her heel. It's more making her like more of a baby face. So we'll see if that storyline keeps going on, because that wasn't a stipulation for Lyra not to go after her. But we'll see what happens there. Who knows? Maybe Naomi goes after Becky Lynch, but we'll see as the story comes, as tomorrow Monday night comes. But then afterwards, we got the men's Money in the Bank with Penta, who I was hoping would win. Penta, LA Knight, who was everybody's favorite to win. Andrade, who had a great match. Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, and El Grande Americano. Honestly, that men's Money in the Bank, 10 out of 10. It was a great match. Penta, he did his thing with El Cielo Miedo. Honestly, one of the best wrestlers in that match was Solo Sikoa, because he kept doing everybody's emotes from El Cielo Miedo to LA Knight, and Solo's just going off, and it was just like the fun part of the match. Andrade, he was doing his thing. He did his usual thing. El Grande Americano, he had one moment that I was even like, don't let him win it, because I didn't really want to see El Grande Americano win it, where he made a ladder flip on its side. He climbed it, had Seth Rollins had a ladder fall on top of Seth Rollins to hit another ladder to go up top to go attack Penta with the metal in his head, which he did. And I thought at that moment he was going to win it, which he didn't, but I was kind of glad he didn't, because I didn't want to see him win. And then, as everybody's down, everybody's getting tired, that's when Seth Rollins called his backup with Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker hit the nastiest spear on Chad Gable, which they didn't even have the right camera angle on it. So I was like, what the heck? Why didn't they show it? But then, as the match finishes, and Twitter is showing all the replays of that spear, and it was just a crazy spear. But as they came out, they attacked everybody, and then Solo Sikoa called out Jacob Fatu, and I forgot what's his name again. The other dude. Oh man, I'm blanking right now. Damn, I blanked right now. But the other guy that's with him. But they came out, they were doing their thing, they attacked Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and then, as everybody's down, Jacob helps out Solo, and after all these weeks of Solo talking mess about Jacob Fatu, Jacob was slowly behind the curtain, like hearing a lot of it, behind the scenes, hearing like what was said, seeing what was done, with how much Solo was talking mess about him. And you just felt like if Solo won the Money in the Bank, he was going to go after Jacob. He was going to betray Jacob. And as Solo was going up the ladder, Jacob just holds his leg from grabbing the Money in the Bank case, and then he just says, "I hate you, Solo." And that's where. But he stared at him before he even said that, and I just knew he was going to betray him, and he did. He took him on the ladder, did the Samoan drop on him, threw him on a ladder. It was just great to see. So I know Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa are about to have a great feud. But Jacob Fatu, I love the character of Jacob Fatu. I love what he's done. But then at the end, Seth Rollins won. I wasn't mad about it, but we'll see who he goes after. It more likely he's going to be Jey Uso. I don't think it's going to be John Cena he goes after. Which, if it comes down to Jey Uso, I think Seth Rollins is going to take the title away from him by attacking him with like Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed or any stipulation type thing. But we'll see as Monday Night Raw comes, or any future Monday Night Raw comes, because I think it'll come down to SummerSlam of where if Seth Rollins takes it from him. And then we're getting to the main event with Jey Uso teaming up with Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul and John Cena. Honestly, the match was a 8 out of 10. Honestly, it was kind of slow paced, but then it got good at the end. With Logan Paul, just going after, doing what he does with the high flying. He did have a botch where he, fell from the top rope, and Jey Uso just, kicked him in the face. And then they had that moment where Logan Paul and John Cena were going after each other. It was mainly like the dominant struggle of who was the leader kind of dominant struggle, like no I'm doing. So they were kind of go after each other, giving Cody time to come into the ring to fight them off. And as the match went on, Logan Paul did that one backflip to go to hit Jey Uso on the table, and that was a crazy bump. Like, that's where Jey Uso got hurt. You could even tell Logan Paul was hurt. And as the ref is helping them out, John Cena has the title while Cody Rhodes is in the ring. He hits him with it because that's just his basic move to win the match. And out of nowhere, a masked figure comes out, jumps him, and throughout the whole night and day of Worlds Collide to to Money in the Bank, all we kept hearing was "We want truth, we want truth," and there was even signs like of people saying, "Oh, I think they're kicking people out for saying we want truth or wearing a we want truth shirt." But I don't know if those rumors are true. But the Masked Figure came out, he jumped John Cena, and I could tell who it was. Even though he was wearing it, it just added up to the storyline of who it was. He took off that mask. R-Truth got the biggest pop of his career. Everybody was happy. Everybody was excited. Even the people backstage, like Kathy Kelly, she was emotional when she did an interview, a solo interview, and you could tell she was emotional, choking up, because everybody loves R-Truth. Everybody is happy, and it's not even R-Truth no more. It's Ron Killings, which was just awesome to hear. I know his shirt that they made is selling out already, and that shirt Rhea Ripley was wearing on Monday Night Raw, but she had to take it off because I know it was kind of like a spoiler, but it caught people off guard. People didn't know that was the shirt that they were making for Ron Killings, aka R-Truth. But that moment happened. I'm wondering if how that storyline is going to go, if R-Truth is going to come out tomorrow or John Cena is going to come out tomorrow to confront each other, but we'll see. But I know this time around R-Truth isn't going to be a joke. R-Truth is going to come out and show out who he truly is, and I'm going to be happy to watch that story as it goes. But Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso won in the end. Overall Money in the Bank was great. I would give it an 8 out of 10, but it was a good showing. But as SummerSlam comes up in the future, these next weeks of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, they're going to be exciting to watch, especially NXT, with everybody coming, like with NXT adding in Mariah May, but we don't know if they've changed her name or not. But Mariah May, a part of NXT, Stephanie Verkette, a part of Raw, Julia, part of SmackDown. It's going to be great. Roxanne Perez, part of Raw as well. It's going to be great as we go down the line of this year, especially the final year of John Cena. We're going to see as the storyline goes, and everybody needs to apologize to Triple H, because everybody was bashing him for the whole R-Truth release, but it was adding up to the storyline. There was some truth to it about him being really released, and then the fans being a reason he's back. But we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. But overall, it was still great to have R-Truth back. Just sucks for Carlito, because now Carlito is like, well, damn, my release is real. So it's all respect to Carlito. I love him too. But R-Truth is just the most loved wrestler, a part of WWE, a part of the entire WWE, and he's gonna be a future Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. But overall, Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank were great to watch. Y'all got to rewatch both of them, but I'd recommend watching Worlds Collide first. It was great. Everything about Saturday was great. So overall, I just want to tell y'all, I thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video to anybody you want to share it to. Like we say on this channel, we talk about NFL, NBA, MLB, anything you want us to talk about, we'll talk about. Especially WWE now, because I'm wearing a Cody Rhodes shirt up here. But thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna pull out any solo videos, any Just Arrival podcast, as many videos as we can pull out, especially with this upcoming summer, because regarding NFL, I will be going to training camps in the future. I will be going to games. Me and my partner DJ, he plans on coming down to Houston one day for us to go to the Colts and Texans game. So it's exciting. We got a bright future ahead of us, and we want to grow this channel with JDW so that we can just have our names out there and grow this, and hopefully make this a full-time thing. So I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you.